Welcome, Thunderbird Nation, to the Thunderbird Coaches Show. I'm your host, Jon Smith. With me, as always, is our head football coach, DeLane Fitzgerald, and our very special guest, Mr. Aubrey Nellems. Welcome, gentlemen.
Morning.
All right, Coach Fitz. Look, another one down to the wire. I'm sitting here in front of you with a broken heart, contrite spirit. Let's just rip the Band-Aid off. Let's unpack the contest at Austin Peay.
Yeah, John, this isn't going to be a somber mood now. Nobody died. We're going to be okay. Proud of our players. Yeah, I see growth in our young men, see growth in our football program, see growth in our coaching staff. Headed in the right direction. And, John, I've never been more upbeat and optimistic about where we're at and where we're heading than I am now. Had we have been successful on Saturday night, it would have let me and it would let our entire football program know that we were ahead of schedule. And after what I saw on Saturday night, we're right on schedule. We're doing what we should be doing when we should be doing it. It doesn't make Aubrey smile and feel all warm and fuzzy inside, but we've got a bunch of freshmen and sophomores that are playing really, really hard and playing really well. And frankly, a lot of our statistical leaders are the young guys.
Yeah.
So, and just excited about where we're going, excited about our future. You asked me about Austin Peay.
Well, hey, before we get there though, let's talk about that for a second. So, I was fully expecting a downtrodden, somber mood coach. You've come in here and I think you made a statement about who you are and what your football team is. You're not going to dwell. You had a goal to obviously to win that game. You went into 2 overtimes. We'll talk about kind of the specifics of that, but I was expecting someone with a little more doomsday kind of look, and I love that you came in and said we're not going to go there. We're going to stay positive. We're going to stay upbeat. We're going to learn from this, and I'm not going to let the guys fall into that woe is me, poor me attitude. We're gonna go forward and know that we're on schedule. I think that's a testament and a credit to you, sir.
We're coaching, myself and our staff, we're coaching 18 to 24-year-old males. They're the most resilient creatures on the planet. They're going to bounce back. You know, our coaching staff has to bounce back. And, John, there's a thing called, we use that in our programs, 24-hour rule. Win or lose, we're going to think about it and dwell on it for 24 hours, and then we put it away and move to the next one. So yesterday, by the time we had gotten to the walkthrough yesterday evening, it had been put away, and we moved on to Abilene Christian.
Awesome.
I'm fine, and Aubrey's fine talking about it.
Yeah.
And we'll talk to you about Austin Peay and what happened and how it went, and then I'm sure you got some specific questions and big words. Specific.
Yes, specific.
How about that
word.
one? I'm sure you've got some questions about the ball game.
Sure.
And I'll answer those questions, and then let's move on.
Yeah, perfect. So let's unpack Austin Peay. You guys came out with your hair on fire. You guys did a really good job in the first half. Let's talk about the game, coach, and get Austin Peay behind us here.
Came out and played well. One of the marks on if your offensive staff is any good and if you're headed in the right direction is first drive of each half. We scored a touchdown on the first drive of first half, first drive of second half. Now, I'll get into more of it later, but unfortunately, we gave up a touchdown on defense on their first drive, which you can't do. We turned around and did the exact same thing in the second half, which you can't do. John, but our guys played well. We played hard in the first half and second half. We executed a little better in the first half than the second half. But moved the ball on offense, ran the ball in the first half on Saturday night better than we had all year.
Yes.
When we had a drive stall, we were fortunate enough to fake a punt and get a first down off of that, which when you do that, it's the same thing as a turnover. And then after that, direct snap to Grady Robertson, and he goes to the house from, I think it was 63 or 73 yards out. But Grady with the ball in his hands is faster than anybody in this conference, and we were able to get that done on Saturday night. And then we're up 7 at the end of the half, got a couple seconds on the clock at midfield. Coach Hyatt has a great Hail Mary scheme and play and all that, and we ran it to no avail. They happened to be offsides, and we got an opportunity to run it again. Grady made a good throw into the end zone. The ball bounced one time, and Gabe Nunez caught it for a touchdown in the back of the end zone. So we go in up 2 scores. We're up 28-14 at halftime. I said it before, but we come out and score a touchdown first drive, second half. It's the sign. It's a sign of a good offense and an offense headed in the right direction. And then we gave up the touchdown on defense. John, in the second half, before I get to the second half, you have to play an entire game. And what we've done thus far this year, we either played the first half or we played the second half.
Yeah.
We have to play 2 whole halves. You have to play 4 quarters in real time. In real time.
Yeah.
Good football teams play well for 3 straight hours. They just execute and have high energy and high effort and play well for 3 straight hours. We have to do that. Offensively in the second half, we scored on the first drive of the half.
Yeah.
And then we went dead for the whole game. Let them come all the way back and tie it, let them take the lead, and then we executed on the last drive of the half. So the first and the last drive, we had 6 drives in between.
Not a lot going.
A lot of 3 and outs.
Yeah.
A lot of 3 and outs, a lot of not doing. Lack of execution on some things. The alignment penalties hurt us. The unsportsmanlike conduct hurt us and probably took us out of points in the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
But we've talked, and I keep talking about all the positive things the freshmen and sophomores are doing. The freshman made a mistake there,
Sure,
and lost his head, even though he got punched in the face.
Yeah.
He got punched in the face with a bunch of people watching him getting punched in the face.
Yeah, it was questionable.
But
the whole thing was a weird play.
What do you get told when you're 10 years old? They always catch the second guy.
That's right.
Yeah, they got the second guy on that one. But execute on the last drive, send it into overtime at what was it, 42-42?
Mm-hmm.
Send it into overtime at 42-42. John, you score 42 points in a game. You should win.
Amen.
Shouldn't have to go to overtime. We go into overtime, and then our defense stops them. Our defense stands up to them and stops them on third down. Rylan Suafilio tips the ball. A.J. Felton gets the interception. We've got the ball on offense. All we have to do, you got a second interception. We get the ball on offense. All we have to do is score a point to win the football game. We moved the ball none. We might have actually went back a foot or two on 3 plays, line up to kick a field goal and get a bad snap, not an optimal hold, and the young man kicks the line drive into the upright.
From where I was standing, the snap came out a little low, kind of skidded. Our holder, was it a different holder than we normally have?
Did
a good job to even get it to a place where it could get kicked, and I thought the kicker actually did a good job to drive it
of getting it
somewhere. Yeah, I mean, it was a tough look.
You need a college level kick at that point, and we didn't get one.
Yeah, well, and snap and hold.
The snap hold kick all needs to be college level at that point.
Right.
We didn't get it, so we missed. We go into the second overtime, and we get a first down. Which puts us in chip shot range, and then we stalled. Needed a touchdown there, but we get a first down, and then on the second set of three downs, we don't get a first down
Big
there.
Sack.
Yep, we kick a long field goal, and we're up 3. So we're up 45-42. They get the football. We've got them in 3rd and 11.
Oh.
We don't execute. We cut the running back loose out of the backfield. They get a first down, and now they're 1st and goal or whatever from the 8 or 9. And I think the second play, the first or second play, they throw the slant ball for a touchdown. Beat us 48-45.
Yes, sir. Can we talk? You said a bunch there. I want to recap a few things. We got some questions. As far as the offense in the second half, we'll talk offense, second half, defense. Because I thought offense and defense played pretty well in the first half. We had a two score lead going into half, and then scored right off the bat.
I 100% agree with you. Both sides played well in the first half.
Yeah. So there's not really a whole lot to nitpick there. But in the second half, you had mentioned, look, we went down, we scored right away, and then for the next 6 sets of plays, didn't really move the ball very well. You said it was a little bit of an execution. Was it execution? Was there a concerted effort by the coaching staff to try to run clock at any point? Were we trying to slow them down and run clock? Was it just purely execution?
Yeah, so here's what, and you asked 3 questions in one question there.
Oh, you answered
but
like 10 questions before we started.
Here's what happens. Here's what happened with our young men. As we get up 3 scores in the third quarter, and then we lose focus and a sense of urgency. And once they lost focus and a sense of urgency, then the execution went away.
Yeah.
And you have to keep all 3 things. But to execute, you have to have focus on your assignment. There has to be effort. There has to be a sense of urgency. And when those 3 things come together, you execute usually really well. There was on the clock, managed clock management. There was never, ever an attempt by our staff to run the clock or to run out the clock or anything there. We're trying to score every single time we touch the football.
Awesome.
John learned my lesson close to 10 years ago on that whole trying to run the clock out on somebody. Just score points.
With these days, the game is so dynamic that they can score at any moment.
You score a lot. They scored 3 touchdowns in less than 15 minutes on us without us turning the football over on offense.
Right.
Yeah, so we have to continue to move the football, continue to score points, and we're never going to be a take the air out of the ball and stall type team.
Okay, awesome. That was a bunch of people came to me and they're like, "Hey, how did that go?" And I said, "It didn't seem to me like we were just trying to sock it away. It seemed to me like we just didn't execute."
They got 3 drives in the third quarter and scored on all 3 drives.
Yeah.
Had we have attempted to run the clock out, they might have beat us by 14 in regulation.
Yeah, right. You're right. The other question I had is we tie the game with I think it was a minute left in the game. We have a decision to make, right? Do you go for 2 and the win, or do you go for the tie? Give us kind of behind the scenes coaching viewpoint of how that decision gets made and what goes into it.
Yeah, we scored with 1 minute and 2 seconds on the clock. We're at home. I have confidence in our players. We kick the extra point, go to overtime. Up until Saturday night, our staff hadn't lost an overtime game. We're pretty good in overtime.
Okay.
And we like what we do in overtime and our mindset. We actually practice for the overtime. But had we been on the road,
that's exactly what I'm asking.
We're at the University of Utah, okay? We're on the road. They're ranked 10th in FBS. And we score with 1 minute and 2, I'm going for 2.
You're going for the jugular.
We're going to win it or lose it on one play and get out of there alive, because that's our best chance at success. Our best chance at success on Saturday night was kick the extra point and go into overtime.
Got it.
John, awful call. They threw an incomplete pass at the end of that football game. They throw an incomplete pass with 29 or 27 seconds on the clock, and the officials call it a catch, and it allows them to run a bunch of time. It allows them to run another 20 seconds off the clock before they punt it. Had that call been made correctly, they punt the ball back to us out of deep in their end.
Yep.
They punt the ball to us, and we're going to get the ball back with 20 seconds. We throw 2 or 3 passes and kick a field goal and maybe don't go to overtime.
Yeah, get a shot.
Yeah. If I thought we had screwed up calls and had screwed up as a coaching staff, and if I thought I screwed up the 2-point conversion, I'd come in here and say it, and I don't think so.
Yeah, no, I think that's fair. You have been upfront with the people as far as taking the mea culpa, taking responsibility. And that's why I asked the question the way I did. What goes into it? Is it a numbers thing? Is it a home away thing? Is it a fatigue thing?
It's a home versus away.
Okay.
It's who has the best team. And then for the coaches is, do you have confidence in your players?
Yeah.
John, I'm sitting here talking to you at 2-5, and I don't know if there's a head coach in the country that likes his players more than we like ours.
Yeah, awesome. Let's talk flip the second half conversation over the defense. Look, we had a 3-score lead with I think it was 13 minutes left in the third quarter. We scored right off the bat. So generally, if you spot a team 3 touchdowns, you're going to be able to close that out. Talk to us about defense. Talk to us about the execution. Was it execution on Austin Peay that was extraordinary, or was it some lapses in defense that we just let him through?
I think it was a little bit of both. Going into it, we knew that the quarterback had hurt his shoulder, and we weren't expecting him to do a whole lot of running.
I see.
And he decided that my shoulder's perfectly fine, and I'm going to run the football. So we didn't really have an answer for it. I feel like as a defense, going into the second half, you're up 35-14. Like, offense has done enough. You should be able to, hold up. And 3 for 3, we let up 21 unanswered, and I don't know. We just didn't have any resolve. We couldn't figure it out, and it hurt. Was
it people in the wrong places? Was it lack of tackling execution? What did you see out there from your viewpoint?
It was missed assignments here and there. Couldn't get off the field on third down.
Yeah,
third down.
Oh my
killed
gosh!
us.
Yeah, second half especially.
Yeah, it's just a little thing here on third down. They get the first.
Yeah.
Get them third down again. Little thing here. They get the first down again, and that's super demoralizing for defense.
Yeah, I hear you. All right. Well, we're not going to go too much more into that. It is what it is. I mean, you got to tip your cap to Austin Peay to come on the road, down 3 scores, and do what they did. They kind of SUU'd us. That's kind of what we usually
do. Unless I'm the first or second best team in the conference, it'll be them in Central Arkansas. I think they maybe even play the last game of the season.
Oh, wow.
That they might, but it's going to come down to them for who gets the automatic bid to the playoffs. John, the quarterback, makes that thing go for them.
Yeah, he did a heck of a job.
He's a tough guy. FBS dropped down, a little bigger than I thought he was when we met him at media days. But a lot of moxie, and he's a winner. And you cannot replace having a winner at quarterback, and the kid just wins.
Yeah, I have a little note here that he balled out. I mean, that's all there is to it. He was the difference in the game for them.
100%.
Yeah. The halfback pass was crazy. It got reviewed. Not sure what happened. He was into double coverage. We had the guy, and our players seemed to just move forward when the ball was thrown. And
we let him get behind us.
Yeah.
Yeah, the reverse pass.
Yeah.
We should have had our kids well prepared. That's his third pass of the year. That's the third one he's thrown this year. We should have had our kids better prepared, but we've got 2 DBs back there, and both of them let him get behind them.
Yeah. Well, one thing that I thought was a great in fact, I was ecstatic about was the run game. We ran the ball better against Austin Peay, which has a pretty stout defense. We ran it really well. Talk to us a little bit about the run game. And how we were able to have we had our first 100-yard rusher, right? Braden Whistler went for over 100 yards. As a team, we rushed the ball really well with Whistler and Robeson. Talk to us. Was that a challenge to the O-line? Was it running backs? Give us the scoop on the run game.
We challenged our offensive line, challenged our the 6 guys that rotate up front for us. We challenged them last week, and they responded in a big way.
Yeah.
Now, John, we were much better in the first half running the football than we were in the second half. We needed to have the same stick-to-itiveness in the second half that we had in the first half. But we played better up front on Saturday than we've been playing. And then Braden's been coming on for 3 weeks now.
Yeah, he looked good.
Starting with the Central Arkansas game, he's played well 3 straight weeks now, and we'll see if Braden can keep that pace and that intensity.
With Grady Robeson in there, it does give us a different look. Are we going to see a little more Grady in the games going forward, or is that something that is just very situational?
Grady's going to have a role in every game for the next 4 games throughout the rest of the season. Dynamic player, and he can run it and throw it, and we're glad he's on our side.
Yeah. Aubrey, any other thoughts on the Austin Peay game?
I don't have any more for you. That's just it's a heartbreaker.
That's fair,
honestly, one of the most heartbreaking losses in my career.
Yeah, that's fair.
John, it hurts.
Yeah.
And if it doesn't hurt, you're doing the wrong thing with your time. You're spending your life on the wrong stuff if it doesn't bother you.
That's a fact. Because the reality is you do care. You guys put a lot of effort. You put a lot of work into your craft and your skills. 100%. And when it doesn't come out your way, it's frustrating. And you guys, look, the reality is in the first half, you guys did enough to win. And in the second half, you didn't. And that's just how the ball bounces sometimes. And wish it was a different episode. Wish it was the defining win for the T-Birds. But
I would love to come in here and make fun of you for that jacket you've got on, and
the one you gave me.
The fact that you've got your collar, you're doing the Elvis look today. I would love to be.
It's a pretty tall collar. It is a pretty tall collar. We got to talk to Adidas about the fit here.
They found a collar that'll hide his beard.
Oh shoot. Man. Okay. Well, we'll go ahead and put Austin Peay. Tip our caps to them. They played a good game. They came on the road and got a really hard-fought victory against our T-Birds. But the bright spots are in review. Ran the football really well. You score 42 points in a game. Usually that's going to be enough points to win the football game. Yeah. But also being on pace. We talked about how if we win, we're ahead of pace. We went into double overtime. So that's got to tell you that, like Coach said earlier, we're on pace. A lot of great things can come out of this, and I don't know about you, but I would not want to be Abilene Christian coming in here next week. We'll talk about them in a minute, but first we need to pay some bills. So let's talk. Let's just give a shout out to Warehouse Bar Plus Kitchen, amazing sponsors of the show. We really appreciate them. And look, Warehouse Bar Plus Kitchen is a great place to go watch games. They got great events. I'm sure in the month of October they've got some great Halloween things coming up. Check out their social media. Always, when you're at the bar, at the Warehouse Bar Plus Kitchen, love to drink responsibly. Go have a blast. Go enjoy their atmosphere and their friendly service. And look, be safe out there. But the Warehouse Bar Plus Kitchen, incredible sponsors of the show. Now that we've moved past Austin Peay, Coach, you've got a guy sitting next to you that is I think one of the SUU all-time greats. Aubrey Nellems has been here now for 5.5 years. He's enjoyed Cedar City to its fullest extent. And let's talk about our Visit Cedar City and Bryan Head Spotlight student, Aubrey Nellems. Welcome, man. Thank you for being here. Coach, you want to introduce him real quick?
You said one of the all-time greats. Are we talking about football? Are we talking about academics? Are we talking about his social status?
Yes.
His status in the community. All of them?
Yes.
Yeah. One of my favorites, and I don't say that very lightly, but one of my favorites on the team. Aubrey Nellems is a resident of Las Vegas. Although you've been here so long, you might call yourself a resident of Cedar City.
I'm a Utahan for sure.
A Utah.
Let's go.
I'm a Utah.
Let's go.
Aubrey's been here a long time. Fortunate that he was on the roster when we got here, and he wasn't one of the young men that took the train the first month we were here. Probably thought about it, though, didn't you?
Just about, man. Just about hit that train for sure.
Oh shoot! Hey, the truth is out.
Aubrey does a great job for us on and off the field in the community. Has worked with some of the underprivileged kids in the community and done a nice job there. He's done a nice job academically. You're going to graduate from here.
Did graduate, didn't you?
I graduated last December.
Yeah.
With a degree in what?
General studies.
Yeah, so I should know that, but I don't. Yeah. So he has his degree from here and is taking a couple extra classes now so he can play his senior year. John, here's what I'll say about Aubrey, and then I'll let him do some talking. The good ones, the really, really good ones, make the last one their best one. The great players, and you said one of our all-time greats, I would agree with you. They strain more as a senior than they've ever strained in their life, and they make that last one really, really good. And that's what Aubrey's doing right now. He had a great offseason in the weight room. He had a great spring ball. He understands our defense, runs around and makes plays. He hit a couple people on Saturday night. I didn't think we're going to get back up.
Oh, yeah.
Which is my kind of football and
the
way I like to see it be played.
Yeah.
But he's making his last one his best one, and feel extremely fortunate to have him with us. And I feel blessed that I have been able to be his head coach.
Very cool. That's some touching stuff from Coach.
He's trying to make me cry.
We ain't getting all sappy now.
Oh, shoot. Hey, Aubrey, Coach mentioned that you're from a resident of Las Vegas, although we are proud to call you a fellow Utahan. Tell us about growing up, where you're from, and then also how did you get to Cedar City?
Yeah, so I was originally born in Fort Wayne, Indiana.
Okay.
I moved to Las Vegas in 2007, so I was basically raised in Vegas.
Yeah.
Went to Shadow Ridge High School. I was a little under-recruited, didn't have too many offers. I had the Southern Utah, Weber State, NAU, and then some smaller schools. Mm-hmm. I ended up here because I saw 2017 Big Sky champions. I'll be honest with you. I didn't I didn't do a whole –
Thanks, Demo. You got one.
I'll be honest about it. I didn't do a ton of research on the schools that had offered me. I think NAU had offered me probably 36 hours before I signed here, so I wasn't going there.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But, yeah, ended up here and been enjoying it ever since, man.
Fantastic, man. Let's get to know you as a man. Okay, what are some interesting things about you? You got any hobbies? You got any likes that the people need to know about?
He likes the Italian national volleyball team.
Who doesn't?
Hey, they're great women.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I heard they like Justin Miller a lot.
Oh, they love Justin Miller.
He set up when he answered.
Justin Miller.
Justin's got swag now.
When they asked Aubrey if he was from Dallas, Aubrey had the wrong answer.
No, they hardly asked me anything. I'm telling you,
they had stars in their eyes for Mr. Miller.
They saw
he's
Miller
taken.
and they
he's
ran
got
with
kids.
it.
Yeah,
Exactly.
he's got kids. So interesting things about you.
I come from a musical family. So
cool.
Yeah, so there's not too many instruments you can put in front of me that I can't play.
Let's go.
Yeah, I mainly do the ukulele. I do the piano, guitar, you name it. I do it.
That's very cool.
Yeah.
We talked a little bit about your studies here. You graduated with a degree in
General studies. Yeah, so I started my freshman year. I was wanting to do some athletic training, so I started off in exercise science. Realized very quickly that is not something that I wanted to do. Then I switched over to criminal justice. Didn't really enjoy that too much, and then I stuck with psychology for a couple of years. Really interested me. Didn't complete a class or two that I needed to, so I switched over to general studies to play it safe.
To get that degree under lock.
Yeah, but yeah, I was definitely looking forward to psychology again.
Yeah.
Didn't complete a class or two, but switched over to general studies.
We talked a little bit. Yeah, we talked a little bit about. Sorry to talk over you there.
No worries.
We talked a little bit before the show started about your desire to help people and communicate with people and maybe doing some counseling or something like that.
I have a lot of years underneath my belt with psychology. I did AP Psych even in high school. Took a bunch of classes then. Like you said, I love talking to people and seeing if I could help them with their problems in any type of way. So, if we talked about it. I wanted to play some type of professional football.
Let's talk about it. Yeah, I mean, so that's the goal. The goal after your senior year, when you hang them up from being a T-Bird, is to go forward and
start getting paid for this. You know, whether it be NFL, XFL, you name it. It's 2023, so there's a bunch of professional leagues.
That's right. More opportunities.
More opportunities.
Sure.
Now, but if that doesn't go through, counseling. Maybe psychologist, something like that.
Yeah, absolutely. So at your time here, let's do a professor spotlight. Who is your favorite professor here at SCU, and why?
Hayden Coombs is a guy.
Professor Hayden Coombs. Shout out, Haydo.
That's my dude.
Agree, 100%.
Yeah, he's awesome.
Yeah, he's
inside and outside of the classroom.
Oh, nice. Yeah,
just a great guy.
Really cares about the students. I'll say that he's helped me a whole lot this year. Just a phenomenal person, a phenomenal professor.
Yeah.
Just great human being.
Awesome, man.
John, this is the first professor they named this year that I knew.
Hey, there you go.
Yeah. We got 2,400 employees here. For those of y'all out there watching, it is hard to keep up with 2,400 people.
Yeah. Well, and you've only been here 10 minutes, so, after year 10, I have higher expectations.
Sometimes 2 feels like 20.
Oh, shoot. Let's see. So I've got a question for you. Let's fast forward 10 years down the road. You're looking back at your time at SUU. A couple players, a couple teammates that you'll look fondly back on in 10 years and say, hey, I was really privileged and happy to play with that guy.
Two names that I can think of right now. Aaron Romero, that's my dude. He's we came in together in 2018. Been here, feels like 10 years, but it's about 5.5.
Yeah.
I've seen him. He's broken his foot, tore his labrum, like broke his foot 2 or 3 times. He's still here. Doesn't have any quit in him.
Yeah.
Like I said, that's my guy. Connor Cullimore. I tell Connor all the time. He's in the 6 years that I've been here. He's got to be one of the smartest guys I've ever been around.
Awesome.
Works his tail off.
He's a flat football player now. Just a flat
just
football
a dude,
player.
Just an absolute dude. I feel privileged and honored to be around Connor. I know I'm older, and I'm sure he looks up to me to an extent, but I look up to him more than he knows.
That's awesome. We were talking before the show about we've had a couple really great players come through here that are like Connor Cullimore. Matt Hawley is the guy that comes to mind. Yep. Shout out Matt Hawley. And if you're not listening, you should be. So someone tag Matt Hawley when this goes up. But
I think 10 years from now, somebody goes, hey, what is your biggest Southern Utah memory? I think you go, well, Lyle and Aaron, and then go from there. I think that's the way it starts.
We'll leave that for the backstory.
That was a moment.
Yeah, I bet it was. All right, man. Look, any shout-outs to anybody, anything you want T-Bird Nation to know about you?
I don't really have any shout-outs.
You better shout out your family, or I'm going to get in trouble.
Of course, I'm gonna shout out the family.
Okay.
You know, my brothers, Aaron, Avery, my step pops. You know, those guys back in Vegas. You know,
awesome.
Love and appreciate them.
Cool, man. Well, thanks for being our Visit Cedar City and Brian Head student spotlight. Appreciate you being here. Appreciate all that you've brought over your 5.5 years. You've been a blast to watch. Always bringing the wood. Still got a few more left though. We're not sending you off. We got work to do.
Absolutely.
Coming
4
up.
more weeks.
That's right. We got more games on the schedule, and we expect some more Aubrey Nellems highlights.
Yes, sir. I got you guys.
Yeah, appreciate you again, Coach. Speaking of, we've got a few more games left on the schedule. We are maybe not in the win-loss column exactly where we wanted to be. However, as far as team development and professional development with your coaches, it sounds like, and you mentioned earlier in the show that you feel like you're on pace. You feel like things are going in the right direction. We got Abilene Christian coming up. They just came off a 34-27 victory over Stephen F. Austin, spoiled their homecoming. They just went out, balled out, beat Stephen F. at their place. Let's talk about Abilene Christian. They are purple. They are cats, so I'm good. One of them cats, I can say that and not get turned into a meme. So let's talk about Abilene Christian ACU and what we got coming up Saturday at 1:00.
Good football program in a state and in a town and in an area where football is really, really important. Keith Patterson's a head coach, and he is a long-time defensive coordinator at a lot of FBS schools. Had a chance to become the head coach there starting last year, so he's been there at the same time that I've been at SUU. That does a nice job. That they run the football better than a lot of teams in our conference and do it with a lot of different tailbacks, but offensively just really sound in what they're doing on offense. Switch over on defense, and boy, they look the part now. Big, good-looking players, but they're sound on defense also. Kicking game is one of the better kicking games in our conference, and that is something we have to prioritize this week, is being good on special teams. But they have been really good on special teams. John, I don't know, they are such a cohesive team deal that it's hard. Like you could look at Austin Peay and be like, the quarterback's a dude.
Right.
You could look at Central Arkansas and go, the tailback's a dude.
Yeah.
Like they stand out. Well, you look at Abilene, where the quarterback's good, and the O-line's good, and the tailbacks are good, and the wide receivers are all 7'2", and they're good. That they switch over on defense, and the big, good-looking defensive linemen, their linebackers are extremely active and make plays, and then they have some of the more athletic DBs in our conference. Their kicker hadn't missed a kick this year.
Their kicker's a dude.
And it's not.
Maybe it's their kicker that's the dude.
And it's not like some guy. There's some falls where you have to baby the kicker, and you're like, hey, we're not going to let him attempt anything outside of 25 yards. So
right.
He's from 42 yards in.
Right.
Well, their kickers hit 4 50-plus yarders. He hit a 55-yarder last weekend against Stephen F. Austin, and when the ball comes off his foot, it looks to me on film like he might have missed it. Well, he missed it. It goes through the top of the uprights from 55
Would've
yards
been good
out.
from 65.
It's good from 75.
Yeah,
it's good from 75. And I don't know if there was a breeze behind him, but he's got plenty of leg. Anyway, impressive football program that Keith Patterson has built there, and just we have to bring our A game on Saturday.
Yeah. The thing that stood out to me on tape is the size of their lines. Mm-hmm. Their offense and defensive line are massive.
They're NFL size offensive line and wide receivers. They got tailback running around at 6 foot, 6'1", so they're taller at just about every position.
Yeah, so they got a little advantage on height. They're sitting at what are they? 3-2, 3-3.
4-4. I don't
they're
have any
4.
idea.
Yeah, no, they're 4. They're
4-3.
Yeah, that fourth victory was against Stephen F. Austin. So they're a bright spot in the league. They're doing well. They're big. They're strong. What are we going to do offensively and defensively? I mean, how do we match up, and what are we going to try to enforce our will on Saturday?
We like our team. We like our guys against everybody in the conference. Yep. John, winning's a skill, and we've got to learn that skill. And we're still at halfway through our second year here. We're still trying to learn that skill of winning. But John, you asked what we're going to do: offense, defense, special teams. We're going to execute. So execute with a fanatical effort this week, and then carry it into Saturday and have a great day on Saturday.
I like to execute with a fanatical effort.
Thing I'm most excited about this weekend, you get to kick off at 1 p.m. Is that right, Regan?
It is.
Regan's back there in the background.
1 p.m. kick, ladies and gentlemen.
That?
Yeah.
Waste all day Saturday waiting on a ball game.
Yeah, none of the butterflies is waiting all day. The anticipation and the anxiety that comes with it.
I'm going to petition the conference and the NCAA for 9 a.m. kickoffs for the rest of football. Let's get up in the morning, 6 or 7 a.m. and get it on.
Oh man, that's awesome. Well, Thunderbird Nation, we have a big game coming up. Abilene Christian. They're going to be a lot to deal with, but every game that we've played in conference, our conference is deep. Everybody can play football.
Our conference is equal. Yeah. There is a lot of parity in our conference.
Yeah. We're excited. 1 p.m. kick, ladies and gentlemen, be there. Bring your voices. We got to support these guys. We still have a good stretch left. I think there's a possibility that we run off a bunch of wins here in the end of the thing.
Got the festival going on in town on Saturday, John. So the festival's going on in town, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, the Heritage Festival. You're right.
The Heritage Festival is Saturday, so everybody in town can come right over from the Heritage Festival at lunchtime right into the ball game.
Watch the sheep run down Main Street, and then everybody can run to the football game.
He's always got something to say that hurts recruiting. Trying to get the word out there on our football program, and
we need some country boys, man. We need some country boys out here.
You go open mouth, insert foot.
I'm backing this up. I am for this.
That is what a high school senior wants to hear.
I will die on this hill, Coach. It is cool.
It is.
I will die on this hill. That's cool.
Absolutely phenomenal. For those of y'all out here that have never been out here, the Heritage Festival here in town, one Saturday each year, they close the streets off of Main Street and they run 2,000 sheep down the middle of Main Street.
Yes, sir.
And when people talk about sheep, they follow each other. All that has to happen is the 3 sheep in the front of the 2,000
get loose.
If they run the right way, the other 1,997 sheep follow right along.
I'll tell you what, it's exciting. There's been some.
There's nothing exciting about it, John.
It is.
No,
you're lying.
There's nothing exciting about it.
It is exciting.
Being down 7 points with 2 minutes and 20 seconds on the clock and driving the length of the field and tying it up, that's exciting. Sheep running down the middle of Main Street, it's interesting. It's unique. It is not exciting.
Agree to disagree. When they get going, and sometimes they'll take a left when they're supposed to go straight, and it's wild.
John is the guy that tells you that, hey, you should turn on Days of Our Lives every morning at 9 a.m. because it's exciting. No, John. That show's been on for 37 years.
For a reason, Coach. For a reason.
It is not exciting.
Go into the Holmes Barbershop if you want to check out your Days of Our Lives fix. Anyway. We need to talk about the Thunderbird Athletic Foundation. It's important, and we're going to talk about it. Thunderbird Athletic Foundation is the fundraising arm of the SCU Athletic Department. The goal of the TAF is to enhance the lives of student athletes, providing them resources to be elite in competition, the classroom, and the community. Click the Donate tab at SCUTbirds.com to learn more about how you can support SCU athletics. If you'd like to donate specifically to the football program, you can scan the QR code on the screen. Thanks to all our TAF and Touchdown Club supporters for your continued and ongoing support. By the way, it's going good over there. Danny and Marie and Doug and the whole crew over there, they're doing a really good job. If you have any questions, you can contact Danny Ferry, Marie Tuitt, or Doug Newth, or myself.
The trajectory of our fundraising, the trajectory of our athletic program is on the incline.
Absolutely.
On the incline, headed the right way.
Getting things organized and getting things so that they can have systems in place that we can really get this thing going on the track. So
agree.
Appreciate those guys, and just wanted to give them a quick shout out. Coach, any final words?
Go Thunderbirds.
This show's like 45 minutes long.
This show is a heck of a lot more exciting than sheep running down the middle of the street.
I agree.
Lying straight to my face. I don't like it.
Well,
Ladies and gentlemen, this is we're going to wrap this show, and we got some editing to do. So for DeLane Fitzgerald and our Visit Cedar City Brian Head Student Spotlight athlete Aubrey Nellems, I'm Jon Smith signing off. Go T-Birds.
Go Thunderbirds.